Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Louise Hay. I think it's really likely that her name is not unfamiliar to you. If you don't know her work, though, it is worthwhile searching her name and reading through some of the content that she's produced, and even just quotes. If you search Louise Hay quotes and just see what comes up, there's a lot of really valuable information there. Very many people I've spoken to and worked with call Louise Hay their first spiritual teacher, the first person who made them see spirituality in a different way. Somebody, a very good morning, and Linda, good morning. It is so good seeing you here. Right, so let's get into Louise Hay's thoughts for our meditation today. Hey Leshna, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Louise Hay says, "It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. I am not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world, and I'm willing to change and grow." If you know anything about the world of affirmations, Louise Hay might be most well known for her affirmations, and this is one of those. Affirming that I am willing to change and grow, affirming that I choose my thoughts with care. I like that a lot. Hey Anthony, good morning, man. It's good to see you. There's one of the thoughts that comes to me while I read through her work is that the only thing that holds you back are the thoughts, these thoughts that you have about yourself. And the thoughts that you have about yourself are normally only the opinions of people around you that you accepted as truth. Louise Hay goes on to say that your thoughts and beliefs of the past have created this moment. And all the moments up to this moment were created by your thoughts and beliefs about the past. What you are now choosing to believe and think and say will create the next moment and the next day and the next month and the next year. How can you pay attention to your thinking and your thoughts and be more deliberate about how you create the next day, the next month, the next year than you've ever been before? Last thought from Louise Hay says, the only thing that keeps you from deserving or loving yourself or whatever is someone else's belief or opinion that you accepted as truth. Let me read that one again. The only thing that keeps you from deserving or loving yourself or whatever is someone else's belief or opinion that you have accepted as truth. Which outside opinions of you have you accepted as truth? In today's meditation, we are reminded of where our beliefs about ourselves really come from. And this is also a gentle reminder that it is your responsibility to question your old, long-held beliefs. That the thoughts and the beliefs that you decide to cultivate from today, they are what will shape your tomorrow. Today's meditation is called The Masks We Wear. And it kind of searches and investigates, what are the thoughts and beliefs I have about myself, and where do they come from? Because sometimes when it's clear to see where this belief about myself comes from, then it also becomes easier to put it down and say, but that's not true. I choose to believe something different about myself. If you're ready, let's float away together. You can close your eyes. I will start with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, take a moment to reflect on this very simple truth. How do you know what your name is? The one thing that is ingrained in you deeper than anything else is this name that you carry. For the most part, every cell in your body has bought into this name. When you hear it, every cell in your body pays attention. The only reason why it's programmed so deeply into your human flesh is because this name has been repeated around you so many times that your body accepted it as truth. This is not the only thing that has been repeated around you 1,000,000 times. Since childhood, we've all been surrounded by imperfect humans, mostly well-meaning, and mostly with their own programming from their own childhood. Still, so many thoughts about you, so many opinions about you have been repeated around you, that just like your name, every cell in your body have accepted it as truth. Our journey today is to serve as a reminder of some of these things, not in order to blame the humans around us for their careless words. They're just human with their own programming too. And not to blame ourselves for being so weak that we took on board these wounds, but to create understanding, to perhaps be reminded of one of these beliefs that I've taken on board about myself, and now that I realize where this belief comes from, I can try and take a step back from it. I could perhaps be more successful in saying, I do want to create a new belief around this, because I can see it's not true. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down in as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in, and as you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left and lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, as much as we are able to at least, we can turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is a really good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slowly settles in every muscle of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and to follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, for a moment take a look at you. What is one really healthy, really positive thing about you that you choose to believe? Take your next big breath. today we're investigating some of the more unhelpful beliefs that we might have about ourselves. And the tool we're using to investigate these disempowering beliefs are the masks that we wear. We're running through childhood all the way up till now, trying to remind ourselves of moments where it was made clear to us that we should wear a mask in order to be accepted. So we'll start by going back as far as possible in your youngest childhood days with your caregivers, your parents or other caregivers. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, could you perhaps remember a moment where it was made clear to you that the way you are is not acceptable, and that you'd have to show up differently in order to be accepted? And can you remember trying to do that? Trying to put on that mask and trying to show up in a new way, a different way, to find acceptance? Take your next big breath. For the moment, you can gently lift off that mask and put it on the floor next to you. Our young selves were often surrounded by other adults too, uncles and aunts and grandparents. More people who, for the very young us, held a lot of authority and whose voices carried a lot of weight. Can you remember a moment with one of these other adults where it felt to you like they don't accept you unless you change, unless you show up in a different way? With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, see if you can recall such a moment with the other adults in your life. Take your next big breath. Our young selves often spent a considerable amount of time with siblings, cousins, the neighbors' kids, children with who we spent years of our lives developing along together with. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, can you remember a moment with these young kids where it was made clear to you that you are not acceptable the way you are, that you have to show up differently, put on a mask in order to be acceptable. See if you can remember such a moment. Take your next big breath. You can take off that mask too and gently place it on the floor next to you. School teachers, of course, have an outsized influence on the young lives in their care. Can you remember a moment with a school teacher where it was made clear to you that how you are is not acceptable and you have to show up differently in order to be acceptable? See if you can remember such a moment as you take your next big breath. You can remove that mask as well and gently place it on the floor next to you. A very influential period of our lives are the friends we have in our teenage years. We call it peer pressure because it really is very difficult not to succumb to the pressure of these humans our age who we really want to like us. Can you remember an incident with a teenage friend who made it clear to you that the way you are is not acceptable? You need to show up differently, otherwise you won't be accepted. Take your next big breath. take that mask off too and gently place it on the floor next to you. In our adult lives, we are not immune to this. While most of this happened while we were kids, in our most formative time, as adults, the opinions of the humans around us still have an impact. There are the colleagues that you work with, the management people you work for, friends and clients, most of all, our adult romantic relationships. The opinions of the people we enter into romantic relationships with have an especially deep impact on how we see ourselves. Can you remember a moment where you were told very clearly that how you are is not acceptable, and that you'll have to show up differently in order to be accepted? Take your next big breath. And that mask too, you can gently take it off and put it on the floor next to you. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness to settle into every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. All of these masks we've picked up along the years in an attempt to make ourselves acceptable, to fit in, feel safe. These masks are all associated with beliefs about ourselves. And the problem with beliefs about ourselves is that they're not always a conscious thought. They have a very solid place in our subconscious. And for that reason, if we don't investigate these beliefs, they really feel like absolute truth to our body. Some of these beliefs could feel like you're too loud, you're too much, I'm not good enough, I'm broken. These are most often not a conscious thought process, but a deeply held belief in the subconscious that we never really challenge. The point of a meditation like this one today, the masks we wear, is to be reminded of where some of these deeply held beliefs come from. If we can see the moment it originated, we're not here to blame the humans around us. We're not here to blame ourselves. But to have the awareness that the next time that this belief that I'm not good enough pops up, that I remember where this started. This is not a truth. This is not a fundamental truth. This is something that was repeated to me. And then my body started believing it. So when this old, really disempowering belief, one of many, rears its head in the future, perhaps I can catch it. And I can have a moment to talk to this belief and say, I recognize you now. I understand where you started. And I choose to not keep carrying this belief about myself. I can see now that it's not truth, it's just something someone said to me. And I choose to be deliberate about how I create my new beliefs. And the way we do this is to be deliberate about how you talk to yourself. Take a moment and speak to you, and repeat to you the new belief so many times that your body accepts that as truth. We know it's done it in the past, and it's true that it can do it in the future. Any new belief that you want to create, you have to speak it to yourself. Repeat it to yourself until every cell in your body accepts it as truth. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for being reminded of where some of my old, disempowering beliefs come from. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for not feeling anger or judgment towards the humans around me who also didn't really know what they were doing. I can see them as being as innocent as I am. Take a deep breath in. for the awareness to recognize the moment of origin of unhelpful beliefs, so that in future, when I encounter this old belief again, I can say to it, I recognize you, I understand where you started, and you are not truth. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a moment of awareness to understand that I have to be deliberate about how I talk to myself. I have to construct the new belief consciously and speak it to myself over and over again until this body accepts the new belief as truth. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. Good morning, Jesse, and good morning, Nella. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Linda, Sunmarie, Leshna. Beliefs are a fundamental driver of who we are. We don't realize all the beliefs that we carry until we start investigating what's there. It is a process, and it's really powerful how deep these things sit in us. But remember this, as much as an old belief might have been created within you, you have the power to create a new belief and help your body buy into it. Have a beautiful day. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.